Hey everyone, and welcome back to the Firefighters podcast, where we seek to develop, inspire, and motivate the world of the emergency services operator through a series of wide-ranging conversations. Now, before we go any further, just hit that rate, follow, or subscribe button on whatever platform you're listening to. It's a key performance indicator for us and helps us reach even more people. Now, here's what we've got for you today. Hey folks, welcome back. It is a weekly pleasure on the podcast to be able to speak with some really incredible and inspiring people from around the world of the first responder emergency services community. However, sometimes the things that really get you through the dark bits are having a good old catch up with some friends. And today is exactly that. I'm catching up with a couple of my friends from the UK Pink Firefighter Team. It's a nice little end of year catch up, talking about some of the stuff we've been up to, some of the ways we've worked hard to bring the Pink Firefighters a little bit closer, get a little bit more structure around it. For those of you that are unfamiliar, Pink Firefighters Association is a global organisation, and we are all part of the first responder community as we work to engage with and raise awareness for breast cancer and cancer prevention in general. Everyone on the team of the Pink Firefighters has been touched by cancer in some form or another. We work hard to try and encourage people to check themselves, encourage their family members to check themselves regularly, and we do a bunch of events all over the place in a full set of pink fire kit, pink helmet. We got together a number of times over 2022. And we're going to be doing exactly that again in 2023. There'll be a whole bunch of places that you'll be able to catch up with us and see us. If you do want to support the Pink Firefighters, please click the link in the notes below this podcast. And you can also find it on our Instagram, Facebook, and all our social media platforms. If you go in the Linktree link and go down to Pink Firefighters, you'll be able to make a donation or simply do the most important thing, which is raise awareness for people in your life and in your community. So please, if you're able to, give a little bit of that support. Be sure to touch base with your friends and family. And also, as a wider point, just be sure to touch base with people around you as well. Acknowledge the things that you've done last year. Share some laughs, share some optimism. And from everyone at the Pink Firefighters team, we wish you health, happiness, and every success as you move into 2023. Yo.
How we doing? You all right?
Hey, brother. How are you?
Marvellous, mate. Yourself?
Awesome. Got a hell of a sore throat and a bit of cold at the minute, unfortunately. But other than that, I'm rocking.
It's not what you want, is it?
That's all right. I fucking caught it off the family over the Christmas period, the bastards. Fucking hell.
Fortunately, it's what you got to do at this time of year, isn't it?
Just sometimes, though, you know, when you feel ill for a couple of days after, you're like, that wasn't fucking worth it.
I know. I hosted Christmas dinner this year for 13.
13? Mate, yeah. Well done.
That was a bit of a task.
Yeah, absolutely. Are you the head of the kitchen, or is it the good lady?
It was me.
Nice. Good work, my friend.
You didn't cook from all, or did you? They brought their own.
Stop lying. No. God, Here he is.
Love it.
Here he is.
Do you get them to bring their own stuff? As in, like, do you get everyone to contribute something? Because to be fair, that's what we always do. Like, I did a big joint of beef and took that to the to my sister's house.
My dad did the turkey and then brought that over. One of my sisters made the soup for the start, and then I did everything else.
And there you go. That's how it's supposed to be. Everyone's got to muck in. Everyone contributes. I like it. It's good.
And then the rest of them cleaned up.
No, mate. If you cook, you don't fucking clean.
Part.
That's the rule. That's the rule. If you cook, you don't clean.
It is. Unless you're 30 odd and live with your mum, and then she does everything for you.
Mate, don't knock it. You're just jealous. You are just jealous that I'm living the dream.
How was your Christmas,
mate? Christmas is one of them. It's overrated for me, if I'm honest.
Yeah, I was just saying to Rob, I got fucking ill, and I felt like it really was not worth it seeing the family for one day, and I came away from it. It felt fucking terrible.
I just think it's a bit much. Like, there's so much stress and pressure and whatnot for Christmas, and you just think, you know what? It's just Sunday lunch, isn't it? At the end of the day.
Yeah, to an extent, 100%.
Mr. Cook has the right idea.
Going for an Indian. Speaking of, he's doing dad stuff, so he sends his apologies.
Is that Jamie's put a foot down and
yeah,
told him he can get fucked?
Yeah, absolutely, yeah.
How do I sound?
Sound great.
Like at your end? Does it sound clear? Because I bought myself a little microphone.
Ooh,
of course you have.
Of course he has.
Well, I come on here that often now, Rob.
He's a fucking regular, isn't he? He's got his fans to think of. He wants to make sure he's coming through clear.
Exactly.
It's about the only time he is.
Got to make sure I'm making sense.
It's just going to be.
The microphone's not the problem making sense. It's the gap between the brain and the mouth, I think.
There's a massive void between them two.
Love it.
Hello.
Hey, there's Chrissy.
There's Chrissy.
Do you guys have any special like Christmas Day traditions? because people say, oh, traditions and stuff, but actually when you get your own family and stuff, you kind of have the ability to start your own traditions, I always think.
Emma's got into this thing of buying everyone matching pajamas, which I'm not a fan of.
Yeah, good
That's
girl.
a massive trend though, isn't it?
Yeah, I'm just like, I'm not a pajama guy at the best of times.
No. My missus did exactly the same. I was like, I've been with you 10 years. Have you ever known me to wear pajamas?
Did I see a photo of you on social media, Rob? You, your missus, and the kids, all matching
Most likely, yes.
You'd love it.
Her life is on social media.
Hey, man, if you got it, flaunt it. It's not our fault we've got faces for podcasting, is it, for God's sake? if we looked like your missus, we'd be on social media a lot more. That's just honest, isn't it? Let's just be honest.
I still don't understand why she picked Rob, because the size of that forehead.
Twice.
Yeah, twice.
What?
She said yes to marrying him twice.
She's a good.
She got bored the first time.
She's probably one of the. Maybe is she an ugly duckling? If you know what I mean. Do you know the story? Like someone that didn't get attractive until they were like in their 20s.
No, she's one of those that's gone all the way through.
Ah, what a bitch.
And you look like you've been hit by a spade, Robert.
Yeah, twice.
How was your Christmas, Chrissy?
Yeah, good, thank you. I say good. I should have been working, but I spent the day with horrible cold under the
You can do that at work.
duvet on the sofa.
You should have gone in and just got paid for it anyway. When does everybody think that Christmas stand down should start on stations?
September.
Fucking September. I usually go like second week in December. We'll stop like drilling twice a day, because we usually, when I was on station, obviously I moved into the training department now, but we would usually do some sort of drill twice a day, and we'd start cranking it down maybe in the second week of December. And then we'd bring in all the games and all that sort of shit. So we'd do a little bit of drill in the morning, and then in the afternoon we just play games and shit.
Fair.
September's a bit early, I think.
It was put out there, wasn't it? Like there's always the whole. Someone get behind it.
You did ask for opinions, and that was a good opinion.
That's it, yeah. That's a fair shout. Otherwise, you end up just pushing it the whole way through the year, because if you don't start back up again until February, then it's like the whole thing will start blending in together if you're not careful. No,
Christmas annoys me enough as it is. So Christmas stand down should just be like the Christmas week and then happy days. I get that it gets all Christmassy and stuff, but it just bugs me.
How's life on station, Rob?
Hey, to be fair, James, I've done that much overtime over Christmas. I might as well.
This is true. Well, you managed to find a door, so that's. Have you told Pete that you didn't get the job because you couldn't find a door? Sorry.
You can't say the word, though, can you?
No, I can't say it. Sorry.
Come on, elaborate. What's been going on?
Imagine that, Pete.
So I went through the same migration as James, but I made a faux pas.
Go on. What was the faux pas, Rob?
On the BA drill, missed the door.
No, the one before that, Rob.
Oh, the one before that. Made a mistake on my BA board, timings by an hour. On the very last BA team that went in.
Oh, mate.
I ate tests. Me and tests do not go.
So did you get through?
No.
Oh, mate. That genuinely does suck then. Fuck you, James. That's brutal, that is.
Right. Bear in mind, Pete, what you don't see is the months and years of abuse I got off Rob for every time I ballsed up a whole-time application. So Rob's one of these people, right, that just sails through life. That no matter what it is, everything just goes for him. Even when the world's going down the pan, it just, like, look at Wales, for instance. Wears the wrong gloves, gets disqualified, runs again, beats me by a couple of seconds, gets top spot. You see what I mean? That's the sort of stuff I have to put with all the time. So I
just rolls through the bush and comes out smelling like roses.
Yeah. So that's you know, so right as well.
Pretty low then.
Well, I had a very bad 6 months, and James revelled in it. But yeah, well, there's a migration and a whole time coming up in the next few weeks. So,
do you think you would still go for it then? Do you obviously you think you would still go for it, but like with the cost of living challenges and this, that, and the other, and obviously we're striking for pay and all that sort of jazz, it still appeals to yourself?
Yeah.
Why?
Yeah, definitely. It always has. And to be fair, the pay firefighters on now is still an upgrade of what I'm on now.
Wow. So she's really not with you for the money or the looks then? This dude must be hung.
Oh, she earns twice what I earn. She's the major breadwinner in this relationship.
What is going on there? She was abused as a child. Honestly, something happened there that her self-esteem was through the floor.
Oh yeah, when we met, she's took me on there because I've done well for her, and now she's on double arm on.
Admit she was drunk, and she's got like in a hospital in a helicopter where it gets to a point of no return. No, I think that's where she's at now.
No, the best part about it was, mate. When we met, she'd just come out the RAF, and she was working behind Level, a bar in town called Level. And she was working. I was in there drunk, and she picked me up.
What?
Yeah.
How dark was it in there?
Very
dark.
And I rejected her first time, and she came from behind the bar and chased me down with bottles of shots. So
what? Mate, maybe you've just got the gift of the gab. Maybe that's what it is. How long have you been together now?
10 years.
Mate, that's huge. Congratulations.
Including a 6-month break.
Fair play. Thanks for being open.
Yeah, he has to get it in there because I make sure he tells everyone.
At least my missus didn't think I was gay for 10 years.
This is true. This is true.
Tell me, James, what, so she was just with you out of sympathy, or like hoping you would change and abandon the cop, or what?
So you know the friend zone?
Yes. I
completed it.
Did you? You completed it.
Yeah.
You ventured into the depths, right into the valley of it, and came out the other side. Most people never will.
They went to school together, and he used to fancy her and hit on her, but she thought he was gay for how many years was it, James?
10, easy.
And then you full on worn her down.
Well, she went to Italy to join the circus, didn't she? Fact, that Pete. And then she came back, and I was the best dressed available at the time.
Shall we do it?
Yeah.
Beautiful. It's a massive pleasure to welcome our new partner to the podcast, Gore-Tex Professional Fabrics. Now, I've personally worn Gore-Tex for nearly 2 decades, working operationally in hostile environments, tackling challenging incidents from firefighting to water incidents and in urban search and rescue environments. Gore-Tex have a well-earned reputation for protecting professionals in the fire and emergency services throughout their family of highly innovative, waterproof, breathable moisture barriers that exceed global performance standards and are trusted worldwide. It's a really exciting and humbling moment to be welcoming Gore-Tex to the family. And the best way for you to support the podcast is to go over and find out a little bit more about all of the partners that help bring this podcast to you. So expect a lot of things coming from us in the future as we work together as a partnership to help inform, educate, and protect professionals in the fire and emergency services. Gore-Tex, going further together. Now back to the show. Welcome. How the hell are we? End of 2022. It's been a busy one, that's for sure.
It's been all over the place, hasn't it?
I don't know. I mean, I feel like we've done a lot, but I also feel an innate sense of guilt all the time with the Pink Firefighters, because I feel like we don't do enough. Do you know what I mean? But like, everyone's got such busy lives, and this is like a second thing, or it's like a fucking fourth or a fifth thing for most of us. But we have done some pretty cool shit. Where have we been this year? So was the Welsh the first thing where we all got together?
It was Manchester, wasn't it?
Oh shit, that was this year, wasn't it?
That was January. That was January this year.
Wow.
We did that.
But that was
a stupid idea that was.
That was the very first thing we did before anybody really had any kit, wasn't it?
Yeah. I think I was the only one with a kit then, wasn't I? But that's what kind of meant the most to me about it, because you guys and girls were all like really committed into, you know, doing something for it and really trying to make a difference with it. You know, I know Dean can't be with us today, but like he's got a like real passionate story about the whole thing. And that was the first thing where I can't believe that was January this year. So for anyone that was unfamiliar with it, what did we do in the end? Did we do 11K with 70 something kilos on our back? What was it?
I think it was 11.5 kilometers, depending on whose phone you were using, because mine stopped working about halfway around. And it was 76 kilos on effectively a weighted frame, which you carried most of the way because we're all feeble and useless.
No, you know what? I really don't think that's the case. I actually think Ryan was, he had something to prove. I think he had a little bit of ego chasing him, wasn't he? And he was really caning through it, to be fair. I was worried about Dean, because Dean had a bad back, didn't he?
Ryan can go to dark places.
which he proved at the BFC this year, didn't he?
He can go. He can go to dark places and do things that he shouldn't be able to do.
Apart from grow.
Where do you think that comes from?
Abuse for being short as a child.
Probably. He's got that look. He's a very handsome guy.
Looking like a child.
To be fair, I grew up with him. I went to school with him. I grew up with him, and I used to play football with him. And his dad was the coach, and he was one of the kids that only got picked because his dad was the coach. So he is now got a point to prove. Now he's older, that he can do stuff.
Well, you know what? I always say anybody can be fit in their teens or in their 20s. I think it's as you start to get older. And that's kind of what morbidly excites me, is that as we head into these next sets of generations, I'm 33 or whatever I am now, I'm really excited about trying to stay fit and healthy for the next 20, 30 years. And Dean, in all honesty, is a little bit of idol for me in that sense. Because how old's Dean now? Is he 41, 42? What are we guessing at?
He's got a bit of a head start on us, but again, he's a fit fella, isn't he? Like,
he is.
He put me to shame a couple of times this year. So
yeah, he's beat me well as well.
Well, I think he gets.
He's just
he
got
does have his challenges with his injuries, but he was saying through COVID he'd been doing loads of rowing competitions, and rowing fucking sucks. Rowing is really fucking hard. I find it.
He's got limbs for it though, hasn't he?
It's not nice. Not a nice pay in the rower.
So we did the thingy-bob in Manchester, raised a good bit of money for that. That was the first kind of kick-off for it. And then we started sorting kit out for everybody.
Yeah.
Then was it the Welsh? Then we had a bit of a gap.
Was it the Cheshire first?
It was the Cheshire first, wasn't it? And then it was the Cheshire virtual, and you came up to headquarters, didn't you, Pete?
Yes, really. I'll tell you what, that was a strange and interesting fuck up of a day for me. Obviously, visited the headquarters, intended on doing a bit of recording with some really interested instructors and leaders and people in incident command, and just fucked it up. Basically, we had a microphone malfunction. Still recorded into nothing. We might as well have been talking to the fucking wall because nothing came of it in the end. So that was. Humbling to say the least, but no, it's a beautiful facility. So obviously, we came up there, or I came up there and took part in it. I'll be honest, I was a little bit nervous because similar to the Welsh, there was a lot more running involved in the virtual, or it felt like there was. Yeah,
like the deceiving thing with the Cheshire is the run at the beginning just gasses you early doors, and some people go out far too hard, far too early. So it's knowing when to run and when to put the pedal down and when to sort of ease off a little bit.
I think the running with the 20 meters of hose reel that weighs more than you expect it to.
Yeah, because you're pulling off the drum, aren't you? So
and then once you get to the 20, you've got to then turn around and then pull the other 20. That if you're not breathing properly there, that knocks you for 6 for the rest of it.
And this is where Chrissy first bomb burst onto the scene out of nowhere.
Absolutely. Are you done one before though, Chrissy? Did you not do the BFC last year?
No, this was my first year.
Oh wow. Yeah, so you really did come out a screamer for it. Were you ready for it? How long have you been training for before you did it?
James and I started in maybe February.
Yeah, about January, February time. It wasn't long you'd been training for it.
No.
And it was only, if I remember rightly, we were aiming for the BFC, weren't we? And we just went, right, let's see how we give this a go and see how you get on.
Yeah, that's it, yeah.
This is like the truest example of those that if you can't do, teach, isn't it? Because James, bless him, couldn't win a medal because his life depended on it. But he obviously coaches you very well.
Fair,
a little bit like what you got to work with, isn't it, I suppose?
I got one in Wales. You got to give me that.
I think that was a sympathy medal, James. We had the clock was a little bit off on that one.
He got a team medal, so we had a strong team. That's what it was.
Yeah, there was enough people to be able to share the shit.
Just putting out there early doors. Any mixed teams I Bagsy Chrissy this year.
I wouldn't trust her. She drops you like a hot potato at the last minute for Greg, not for John normally.
Yeah, I did see that one actually. We'll come on to that.
Poor Chris was excited and then got dropped last second.
So after the Welsh, the Welsh is when I had my first injury. I've been riddled with injuries this year.
Yeah.
So I was on blood thinners at the time because I had a blood clot in my leg. That was the first frustrating little hiccup for me. So I did nothing. I just turned up and flapped my gums for the Welsh one. I didn't even do a great job of that, to be fair. So everyone else kind of took the lead on that one. Chrissy came away with the gold. And then it was rocking up to the BFC. How did you find the BFC this year? I felt like, I mean, probably always say this. I'm always like, oh, next year's going to be amazing. It was louder, obviously, than the time we've been through COVID. There was a lot more attendance than when we've been through COVID.
It felt slippy. I'm just putting that out there.
Yeah, that always makes me nervous.
Some of us fell over a bit. Some of us fell over, being me. No, I reckon it was good. Because our first real BFC was last year at Morton, which was great because it was great for the families. Because obviously we've got young kids and whatnot, which was really good for that. But it was good that it was on a town centre. It just seemed a little bit tight down that high street. Don't know about you. What do you reckon, Rob?
Yeah, I think it just felt quite enclosed, and I think with Pride being the same time, there was a lot of people there, but the attention wasn't on BFC.
Selfish buggers, always trying to grab the spotlight. It's not like they haven't got their own day and everything. I mean, but anyway, no, because we saw some of the fastest times this year, and now reflecting on what you've just said, it's because the course was narrower. So it was the transitions, wasn't it? It was as small as when you're going from the force machine to the hose, or when you're going from the barrels to whatever the hell the other thing is down at the bottom. It's a shorter transition. I think it was a difference of like 3 or 4 meters versus like 1 meter, because it was literally just right next to it. Because we saw some blistering times this year, and I think the layout at Manchester won't be the same. So I don't think anybody will hit. Depending if it's just as narrow, but I don't think it will be. So I don't think we're going to get close to the times that we had this year.
Look, I think with Morton last year, a lot of people were unsure if it was going to happen. So me and James as well didn't do as much training as you should have done. But with Hull, I think everyone knew it was going to happen. So everyone did do that extra training.
I'll give people their credit with their training, but I also just think it was just such a faster course. I mean, I don't know what my time was, but I'm pretty sure I did faster than I'd ever done on it before, even though I got a fucking penalty, which I'm still not agreeing with. But nonetheless, that was some bullshit. That was some bullshit. That's the only time John will claim to have ever beaten me. But the amount of people I've sent the video to, I'm like, how? How did he beat me? You clearly see me finishing first. We started at the same time, and I finished first, and we did all the same stuff. Anyway, I'm not bothered about it. I don't want to talk about it.
You sure? Do you need to talk about it?
No, I don't want to talk about it. I don't care. I'm not bothered.
I think a lot of people had a lot of things to prove as well. Obviously, following on from the Cheshire and Wales and whatnot, Chrissy of all people, Chrissy had a target on her back all weekend.
Yeah, 100%.
I felt like that was really good because lots of people came and spoke to me, which I don't think might not have done otherwise. It made it like more of a competition.
Well, the girls did really well that time. There was who were the other girls? There was Kaylin Joe Tyler. She was pretty hot out the gates, and we didn't have what's her face there, did we? Or did we have Thingy Bob from Germany that usually comes over? What's that lady's name?
Marie.
With, Marie. She was there, wasn't she?
Yeah, she was there.
Who was the one that didn't? There's one that didn't. I can't remember what her name is. Who wins everything normally?
May,
that's the one.
Yeah. Where did Marie come then?
She won.
Yeah, she always does though, doesn't she? She tends to be pretty slick. What was the time difference, Chrissy? Do you know?
It was 10 seconds.
That's big. That's rough. That's hard.
But it's not though if you think about it.
Yeah.
Bear in mind that was Chrissy's first time doing the tower.
Oh God, yeah. No, I mean, yeah. There's many firsts there for Chrissy. And it's the same conversation I always used to have with John, where he would spend loads and loads of time practicing the skill sets. I never put any time into practicing transitions, practicing the skill sets, all of that sort of stuff. I would just rely on trying to be really fit. And I know full well that there's plenty of seconds to be gained there if you can just get those transitions right. If you can just, certainly with the tower, I always think Rob Budge is somebody that was so quick down the tower, which I think none of the Budges did it this year. They did. Dave wasn't even there.
No, didn't Dave tore his hamstring or something the week before? He was doing firefight abroad, wasn't
he? Yeah.
He still won it though, didn't he? With a torn hamstring.
I don't know.
That was France.
Yeah.
He came to France with his hamstring still not right, but he did. I don't think he did it in BFC.
He didn't do BFC, but I thought he'd won the competition that he was in. I don't know. I could be wrong.
No, I think he got I think him and Rob got a medal doing a pairs thing somewhere, and I think him and Lee Phillips got a medal somewhere as well. But yeah, he actually made a big push this year to do loads of different competitions, I think. But yeah, he's 40 now, isn't he? He's in his 40s. I keep seeing on his socials. So he's trying to understand how his body works in that kind of new age. But he's going hard on the frickin' gram at the minute. He's always shirt off, filming himself.
On the assault bike.
On the assault bike, Old Faithful as he likes to call it.
Yeah.
Always there.
Yeah.
So you guys all went to Firefit. I had a colossal injury, so I wasn't able to go.
Just me and Chrissy.
James's arse fell out, so actually it was just you and Chrissy.
Yes, it was.
Yeah.
How did you find the trip? How did you find going over there? Were you looked after? What was it all like?
For me, hands down, the best event I've done.
Wow.
Just getting there was eventful in the car, but just the way the event was done. And then at the end, they had one bar that everyone went back to. So you got a wristband to get in early before it technically opened. So you had everybody that competed there. So it was just like, right, we finished the event now, so we'll all go home, get changed, and we'll all go for a drink together instead of bomb bursting everywhere.
They are good at that sort of stuff, to be fair. Of the firefits that I've been to in the past are always really well organised. I went to one, God knows how long ago now, but they actually rented out a massive hangar. And they set up loads of like food stalls and stuff like that, like burger vendors and all that sort of stuff. But it was all already paid for, so you just you sort of went round and helped yourself to stuff. And yeah, they're really really well planned. So, how many different sort of countries are there? How did you find it? How did everybody do?
Oh, there were people from all over the place, weren't there?
The one thing that didn't work well for it was the same time as the Worlds. So you had like the Polish winners, they weren't there. The German winners, they weren't there because they was all going to the Worlds. But there were still some very fast times from the French and some Germans there. But yeah, it was blistering watching some of them go.
So when you were over in Firefit, do you imagine that you'll go over again? Did it give you an appetite to go and do any different ones? Because I've always got an appetite to go back and do Toughest Firefighter Alive again. I think it's TFA. TFA was in Germany. That one's where you actually do it under air. Were you under air in France?
Yes.
Yeah.
Wicked. Yeah, where they're rotating all the bottles at the beginning. That adds a whole new dynamic to it. How did you find it?
It was actually, for me, it was actually fine. I'd done quite a lot of training under air. So I didn't actually really notice the fact that I was under air overnight.
Did they have the Rescue Randy versus? Yes. Yeah, they're different, aren't they? They always.
I found that so much easier than
really?
Yeah.
Well, because it's just big and rigid, and it's some flop.
Yeah, so once you've got a grip of it, it doesn't double over on you, and then you're not technically dragging double the weight, are you? It was up. Once you had it up against you, you were flying.
A bit heavier to pick up because it's heavier, but but I found it easier to manage.
How heavy is it? Are they 65, 70? 80. That's sexy, isn't it? I love that. It's more realistic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was really good. There was a complete different to anything we've done before. But like Chrissy said, with the under air, I think it helped me more because I was more cautious with my breathing.
Yeah.
And I was more aware of it. So I think that aided me in doing it because for the first one, I was really worried, to be fair, starting off.
I know it's always been an aspiration of the BFC to try and, bring the cylinders in. It's just such a logistical nightmare.
Yeah, they had a massive compressor that was just constantly on the go, which seemed to charge him in seconds.
So, Chris, you decided to come on board this year. You'd been teetering around the edges, flirting with the idea for a little bit. What made you decide to become the first female pink firefighter of the UK?
It just seemed like, I don't know, it just seemed like the right thing to do. Like it's, I think it's a really good thing that you guys are trying to do, that we're trying to do. So if I can add a bit my own little bit of weight to that, then that's a really good thing. And well, James knows all about it, and Pete, you know all about it. But I had a bit of a scare this year with breast cancer myself, so it sort of made me more aware of what I could bring to the table.
No, 100%. So when you say you had a bit of a scare, just going, if you're happy to share, what exactly was it? Obviously it sounds, like a scare, but like, how did you come across it and how did you deal with it? And, when you had that moment where it could be this?
So I've had lumps checked before and absolutely had no issue. So maybe in February or March, I went and had a lump checked at my GP, thinking, oh, there's nothing. She won't say anything, but she said, we always get, now the protocol is that you go and get an ultrasound scan. That's what they do. So they sent me over to the specialist hospital in Oxford. And I turned up there thinking, oh, it's fine, it's nothing. Had the scan. They didn't really say very much to me, apart from they'd ring me. So I went away thinking, yeah, absolutely fine, it's nothing. They rang and sort of a few times have had me back for inconclusive things. So each time they've sort of said, well, we're going to do a biopsy, or we're going to do a mammogram. But it hadn't really occurred to me that this wasn't really that normal, if that makes sense, because I'm a bit blasé about everything. And until the consultant was there and sort of said, oh, for this we normally have to do surgery. And I thought, oh fuck, what? That was so that was a bit of like a bolt out of the blue really for me. That was in August, I think, or September this year.
Fucking hell.
So and at that point, like I'm sure they're really good at what they do, but you do feel a bit like a piece of meat. And actually, no one had really told me what was going on, what they thought this thing was, or like the implications of that. And so this consultant had casually sort of mentioned surgery, and then didn't really give me any more information than that. And yeah, sort of just left me to go and try and get on with my life.
Go out your mind worrying that you've got cancer.
Well, exactly, yeah. So, fast forward a few months, and they sat me down, told me that it's not cancerous, this lump, and they were going to remove it. So, just with a little vacuum, almost, they'd make an incision and then just whip it out. So I had that.
Were you
done.
conscious for it, or did you have to go under?
No, conscious. Yeah, well, I mean, the long and short of it is that it's gone and it's absolutely fine, and I've been tested. That's been tested and given the all clear. But it did sort of bring it home to me that not as safe as I thought I should be, if that makes sense.
Yeah, 100%.
Hey folks, just wanted to jump in with a quick piece around firefighter health and wellbeing. Whether you are trying to join the fire service and pass them tricky fitness tests, if you are currently serving, or if you are coming up to that next chapter of your life, retiring from the emergency services, we get so many different questions around it. So in partnership with Fitness for the Frontline, we have come up with a series of guidance and programs specifically designed to reflect the physical elements of the role of a firefighter. So whether it's carrying an LPP across an overgrown field, lifting a ladder above your head under running it, or wrestling with cutting gear for 30 plus minutes at some kind of complicated RTC, our bodies are required to lift, push, and carry objects in very specific circumstances. That is effectively what Fitness on the Frontline focuses on, as well as the longer term aspects of overall health and wellness for our firefighters. Now, we are definitely not about to be smashing out world records or getting that beach body ready in 6 weeks rubbish. The systems and programs that we put in place are adjusted for people's current fitness levels, and they're not a prescriptive weight or a one-size-fits-all BS. It is very likely for myself personally that I'm still going to be a firefighter when I'm 60 plus, so longevity in the role is really important to me, and I know it is for so many people out there. It all starts with no obligation, 7 days worth of the programming, absolutely free. So whether you're joining, serving, or looking at the next chapter in your life, Fitness for the Frontline is designed by firefighters for firefighters. Now back to the show.
Well, how come you'd been so diligent in the past? You say you had things inspected and spoken about, and it kind of made me thinking like how little I really understand about how it gets created and how people can, you know, be more diligent about doing certain lifestyle choices not to get it. But when you know people such as yourself that do have those scares, and you go, but Chrissy's really healthy. You know, you're not out drinking all the time. You're not a terrible sleeper or anything like that. You're fit, you're healthy. So it really does feel like it's always a bit of a gamble, and kind of everybody's at threat. No one, you know, cancer doesn't play favorites.
No, definitely. No, it's like feels completely random.
So when you'd had it taken out, do you have to go back again, or is it something like they worry that it's going to reoccur, or is it now just, you know, do you just routinely check yourself? Because I don't check myself as much as I probably should.
Well, see, because I don't fit into. They have like high risk factors with age and like family history and things, but because I don't fit into any of those, I'm basically just carry on as I am now. So, and then if there's anything else that crops up that I'm worried about, then the whole process then starts again.
Wow. How often do you check yourself? Very, very personal question. But like, is it just a daily thing, or do you intentionally do it once a week, or you just kind of like remind yourself to do it?
Probably not nearly enough. I don't really know. It's probably not even a conscious thing, really. I don't really know. Yeah,
that's what I mean, and that's what I think makes it more likely that we miss stuff.
I went to get a. So the side that they operated on wasn't the side I actually went to the doctors for.
Okay.
Where I'd had a cyst in the past, which had been I felt like getting bigger, which is why I went to the doctors. But even then, I probably waited for longer than I should have to go, because that's what you do, isn't it?
Going to the doctors is such a ball ache as well. I'm one of those. I'm just like, you just crack on with it. Probably the wrong answer, but James, Rob, how often do you check your balls?
Oh, I have a good feel most days, to be honest with you. That Rob's, that is.
Absolutely, you're a good colleague.
Cough. No, honestly, probably same as Chris. Probably not as much as you should do, because you'd like to think you'd notice, wouldn't you? But again, it's one of those things that you don't think about doing because the world's going on so quickly around you. So to be fair, off the back of what Chrissy, I actually did start making more of a conscious effort, and not only my balls, actually my own boobs. Yeah. So obviously blokes get it too, don't they?
Yeah.
We're sat here spouting about that and going on about how everyone needs to check themselves, and if you're not doing it yourself, you're not coming from a position of, well, I'm doing it.
Yeah. Start playing with yourself. Get familiar with yourself. No, it's a fair shout. So, New Year coming up. Well, by the time this comes out, it will be the New Year. Anybody got any New Year's resolution? Chrissy, stop fucking attention seeking, coughing your head off. Anybody got any? Is anybody one for New Year's resolutions? For first and foremost,
I don't see the point in them, because why wait till the New Year? I had this conversation today with someone. Oh, I'm going to start to go to the gym in the New Year. Why are you waiting?
Yeah.
That being said, I'm going to attempt to do one burpee every day. So the 1st of Jan is 1, 2nd is 2, and see how long I go for, pretty much.
That sounds easy to start with. and very unsustainable after probably 60, I would say. Certainly if you're not going to be having any rest days.
What do you reckon? 10 minutes to do 100?
I don't know. I did some silly burpee challenges a few years ago, but I don't know how long they took. Sounds like a lot, dude.
It's not sustainable, that, is it?
I'm
just because of that, Rob, I want to do it to prove you wrong.
Well, is this going to be like, when you see stuff posted on social media and someone's like, I did a massive WOD today and it took 6 hours, and you're like, nah, I'm not sure you did.
No.
Do you know what I mean? Sometimes you see it and you're like, you mean you filmed 3 sets and sprayed some water on yourself, and then just posted, saying you climbed a mountain today, and I'm like, I'm not sure you did.
That'll be James, 100%.
Did you go? Did you manage to get to the gym today, Rob? Just like
no, mate, I've been looking after my child.
I throw that one out there. Yeah.
If you don't mind, being a responsible parent, wasn't he?
He had this grand plan to palm his child off on his grandmother, so then he could go to the gym.
But to be fair, looking after a 2-year-old that just doesn't stop moving is a workout in itself.
I've got one and I managed it.
So none of us have got any New Year's resolutions. What have we got planned for next year? So I think the first thing we've obviously got, is the first thing going to be this half marathon thing?
I think it might be just because of the dates. Because some idiot decided it'd be a great idea to suggest that we run the London half marathon in full fire kit.
That'll be cool. Laugh. I think that will be a laugh. I think we'll enjoy that. I would honestly, I
wouldn't say enjoy.
Yeah, no, I think it will be good. We're not going to hit a blistering time. I just want us to continue to move at faster than a walking pace. Yeah. It hasn't got to be a fast jog.
There's far too many competitive people in that group.
No, you know what, man? I feel like I've shed so much ego over the last 2 years that I'm not bothered. Like, if people want to blitz off, go for it. Because actually, in my mind, I'm quite fancying going around it twice. Because the more and more I look at the times and stuff like that, I'm like, if you're going to do a half, you might as well just do a marathon. I don't know what it's going to be set up like. I don't know if we'll be able to just go around again, if you know where you've been on the course anyway, or if the blocks close it all up. I don't know.
As great as that sounds, not. I think the variable that we're going to have to take into account is the fire kit. If you're doing it in just pink shorts and t-shirt, you could do it, but you're basically wearing a boil in the bag, potentially with a set on your back.
Mate,
so just the cumulative effect.
We recently had a couple of guys on that ran the New York Marathon in full fire kit. So, it's doable, mate. It's more than doable. There's been loads
of people. You stand up yet, Rob?
Oh, I don't run.
Neither do I. Mate, I've just had surgery on my knee.
I also don't do
I'm not even flicking running yet. See, James has started doing his
nothing today,
Rob. Started doing his runs and started clocking some stuff on Strava. So you're pussying out. You're playing James's card for this one, are you, Rob?
Not now, I'm not.
Okay. Chrissy, you registered for it, haven't you?
Yeah, I've signed up for it, yeah.
She's bulletproof. Why can't we all be more like Chrissy? Chrissy's like, yeah, I'm going to knock it out. If I can get it in before the afternoon workout, then that'll be all right. I'll make some time for it.
I'm not a fast runner anyway. So.
You have done running in the past, though, haven't you, Chrissy?
I have. I've done quite a lot of running.
Yeah, you've done some big distances as well. I remember when we had our episode before. You are no stranger to getting some endurance up.
I'm not, but I do everything slowly. So, yeah.
Except the medals.
I'll get around obviously.
That's probably a bit harsh to the people that have lost to you. So,
it's a bit like when you drive around the Top Gear test track. When you say if it looks slow, it's really fast. That's basically Chrissy.
Well, you're saying you're slow?
No, I said you could look slow, but you're fast, is what I'm saying. Stop getting offended.
Slow is smooth, smooth is fast, isn't it? That's the whole point of it. So, is it April? Is that in April?
That's April.
Okay.
And then you've got
Wales.
You've got the BS. Well, Wales hasn't been announced yet, Robert.
No, Wales is happening because they've booked me a room for it. So,
awesome.
Wales is definitely happening. It's in my diary.
Yeah, so shut up, James.
The Cheshire's a form of Cheshire is happening as well, and then it's a BFC.
Are you going to do a physical thing with Cheshire this year? Because you've been talking about it for the last 2 years.
I think we were, but with 3 of the 4 having young kids and Ryan having a newborn. Mark's got stuff going on. I don't think it'd be feasible to do properly and to its best attempt.
And we've got a new element that we want to try, and it's going to take us a bit of time to get it right. But when we get it right, it's going to be awesome.
Yeah, we don't want to rush it and put it out there when it's not ready and it fall flat on its face.
It's something that's never been seen in the UK.
Claim.
I don't think it's been seen abroad either, has it, Rob?
I wouldn't be confident in saying that, but I'd be confident in saying the UK.
It's going to be something special when we get it right.
It's elements from all over the place, and it just makes it. We want to try it out. We've got to get all the logistics of it set up.
That's what people forget. Planning these events is not an easy thing. There's a lot of stuff that goes into them, and fair play, every year to the BFC lot for putting all of that together. Because I do see the inside of the team every now and again, and it is tough. I always feel bushed. The last couple of years when I've been hosting it, I feel like absolutely smoked by like the end of the first day when everyone wants to go out for a drink and a socialise and stuff at the end of the first day. I've just been flapping my gums all day, and I just feel like I've got a freaking headache from my own voice, and I'm just like, I just need to sit in a dark, quiet room and recover for the second day because I always end up losing my voice.
Yeah.
Well, that's what you said about France, wasn't it, Rob? That it was nice just to turn up and do it as opposed to having to.
Yeah, we turned up, got a nice seat, sat in the sun, watched everyone do their thing, have time to warm up, do your warm up, then compete yourself, and then you got to sit down and enjoy the rest.
Yeah,
not having to help out. Just by the time you get to compete, you're absolutely shattered. Especially when you're on your move up and down the course all day, helping reset it.
Yeah.
It's hard graft. It really is.
Yeah, you're like, you've never actually done your best time because you've been messing about doing everything else all day. But that's why it's so important that we have all of our yellow t-shirt gang and we have people helping out. And there's always a big call to get as many people involved with it. Right, gang, let's wrap this bitch up. Very, very Merry Christmas to everybody. And I'm sure you've already enjoyed it all. Have an awesome new year. Look after each other. And I will see you all kicking and screaming into the new year.
Hi, buddy. Catch you soon.
Beautiful.
We'll see you again.
Love you all. See you soon. Bye-bye.
See you in a bit.
The Firefighters Podcast is a global podcast seeking to develop, inspire, and motivate the world of the emergency services operators. Through a series of wide-ranging conversations celebrating those within our sector, we seek to encourage and support this incredible group of people. It's brought to you by myself, operational firefighter Pete Wakefield, and I speak with individuals from all walks of life who I sincerely believe can add value to or develop those who have chosen this life path. Please support your emergency services wherever you are in the world, and thank you for listening.